Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Yes, we are on the free-to-play. Yes, it is the road to Ultra Nightmare, on which I think we're doing pretty good. And it is day 42. We got Major Energy coming up tomorrow. I'm excited about that. I've got my coffee in hand and ready to dive in today. I'm probably going to try and keep this video a little bit shorter than many of them because I kind of just want to opine on some things, right? I'm basically just waiting for tomorrow when we get the 2x Ancients opening up, right? The 10x for Harima. I just want to open my shards. I want some new champions. I want to have that next champion. I'm definitely sure I want a 6-star. Right now, I'm not 100% sure. I've got options, right? It's not like I don't have options. There are lots of champions that I would think might be useful for me, whether it's Grizzled Jarl, Frozen Banshee, Haikatoon, even, you know, Ugo, gosh, any of these Genbo, Dahi, Ale, for crying out loud. There's lots of champions that I feel like could be really useful for my team, but I'm hesitant to make any of them my next 6-star focus because I feel like that's going to be a big jump. And whoever that next 6-star is, I need to make sure that I have them for a particular, you know, usage in this game. Typically, that's going to mean something like, you know, really heavily focused on Clan Boss or Arena or something along those lines. Maybe even Hydra, potentially, though I don't think I'm quite ready for that. But I don't have that definitive thing yet. And part of it stems from the fact that I still don't know what team I'm going to build for Ultra Nightmare. I feel like I'm a little stuck in my growth on the Ultra Nightmare frontier. And so right now I'm doing really good at Nightmare and Brutal, but to get that next level, I'm going to need another champion to get there. And until I get that next champion, I just don't know, you know, what it is I'm going to be building, right? So I'm kind of waiting to see if I pull something a little bit, you know, that'll change my thinking this weekend. And once that happens, then I'm going to be able to focus on somebody new, right? Whether I get somebody this weekend or not, that's going to be my focus. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. My referral accounts, these guys have been just doing fantastic work, right? Already level 48 for 2 of them, 43 for a third. And that grind from 40 to 50 is a long one, but we've got a bunch of sacreds coming up. So I'm going to be holding on to my sacreds till the next 2x event, which should be not this weekend, not the next one, the weekend after that. So we're probably about, you know, what is that, 15 days away from it? Not that long of a time to wait, and those could be really impactful for my account. So I'm hopeful that these accounts will be done by then, at least two of the three, and that'll give me another couple sacred shards. Maybe we'll get some from our Nightmare Clan Boss chest, and I'll have some opportunities to really get some game-changing champions on this account. That's the goal. Fingers crossed. But what I thought we could talk about today, actually, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about this because I had a couple random thoughts, right? Like, first off, you know, I put out a video yesterday showing how, like, I'm hitting level 20 on all my dungeons, right? It was kind of a ramble video, but that was kind of the big thing, is like every one of my dungeons, we were hitting level 20, except for Spider, obviously, except for Spider, you know, that's just got to be accepted. That's a whole different kind of thing, right? I'm not there yet with that. Don't have the chance for it. But you know, with Ice Golem, we're at stage 20 and I can farm it about 3 minutes. Dragon, we're at stage 20 and farming it in under 3 minutes. Fire Knight, we're stage 20 and I'm farming it 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes. Not fast, but we're farming it. And you know, I've been farming, you know, Fire Knight for the last day or so, last 24 hours or so. It's all right. You know, it's a little slow going. We're not really getting the drops I was hoping for, but it's okay. And I was thinking about it and I realized on my main account, I hadn't done Fire Knight. It took me forever. I was probably a year in before I was actually doing anything on Fire Knight. Like, I was stuck on stage like 15 or 16 for the longest time. And the fact that we're already here on stage 20 is kind of amazing. And part of it is just the mechanics of the dungeon. Hard. You got to get a lot of hits in. You got to kind of continue to do that. You got to put up a bunch of different debuffs, including heal reduction, which you don't really use anywhere else in the game. It's tricky. It's not an easy one to do. And so I was thinking about it and I was like, you know, is this even worth doing right now? You know, at this stage of the account, this stage of my team, is it even really worth me putting the energy in on this? I mean, don't get me wrong, the gear I get now is going to be as good today as it is in a month from now. but I don't know how much I really need it. I mean, it'd be nice to get a shield set, and that's one of like the sets that is available here, right? Shield set. If I can get one shield set on champions, that can make a big difference actually for some teams, right? Arena will last longer, survive a little bit better. It'll pair really well with the bolster set. That's the, you know, the Forge pass that's going on right now. Hopefully we'll get some, you know, at least one set out of that this month or so. So that's potential. Stun set can be really good, especially doing things like dungeon waves, right? It could be really nice on some of my champions. So that's something I could use. Savage is always valuable. Regen, you know, can definitely be good. Crit damage isn't bad. Like, there's lots of good sets in Fire Knight. It's kind of the premier dungeon, actually, for people to, you know, improve their teams, especially as you get farther along in the game, because lots of these sets are good for high level dungeon runs or arena. And so being able to have those really, really nice, right? But again, I was thinking about, I was like, do I need this? Do I really need this right now? We're like a month, just over a month in, we're 40 some odd days in. Do I need this for my champions? I don't know that we do. I mean, I feel like all my energy should be going into ranking up champions or going through Dragon or Spider, and that's pretty much it. Now, obviously I get bored with the game, right? I get bored from time to time. I need to mix it up. So having a little bit of a different, you know, focus every so often, I think is good. But should I be burning through, you know, 1,000 energy on this dungeon? That's a little trickier, and that's a little harder for me to swallow, to be honest. But right now I'm pretty comfortable with it. But then that got me thinking about another question. And, you know, with both of these questions, I actually would really love to hear your guys' opinion, because I don't know that there is an answer for this that's 100% definitive. And I certainly don't feel like I have that 100% definitive answer for these questions. So I definitely love hearing from you guys in the comments. You know, I don't always respond to every comment, but I do tend to read them all. And it does help inform my approach to things, right? So I'm definitely interested in hearing what you guys think. Because the other question I had actually came up because I was doing a takeover, right? So I was doing a takeover for somebody. They needed some help with all their dungeons and stuff, and you know, they were I think doing very slow runs on stage 20 for most of the dungeons, and I ended up getting them up to being able to do stage 25 and about 2-minute runs or faster for all the major dungeons, right? And but they were asking me, because we tend to communicate over Discord, and I was like, hey, you know, this is a team, everything's set, and they were asking me, is this for stage 25 for all of them? Is that what I should be farming? And it got me thinking. Obviously, you know, as you get later on in this game, you need more quality gear rather than more quantity of gear, right? You know, once you've been playing for a while, you're farming, getting gear isn't the issue. It's having gear that's of high enough quality with high enough rarity and substats so that you're getting all the stats you need out of each piece. And so for those accounts, like this person's account I was working on, absolutely, stage 25 was 100% the way to go. You're going to get higher quality gear, higher rarity, higher stars, right? All that stuff is going to be way more valuable, you know, than trying to get it in aggregate by farming stage 20 over and over again. Then it got me thinking, does that same theory hold true for early game players, right? For my free-to-play account, where I do not have a lot of gear, and I definitely don't have a lot of quality gear. Does it make more sense for me to try to push to 25 on these dungeons and then work on those pieces and try to get those? Because remember, the energy cost is high for any of these dungeons, right? And at least on stage 20, everything I get is of a usable, you know, rank at least, or all rank 5 or 6, and I can use that. But if I'm farming stage 20, the chance that it's going to be a quality piece for me does go up. I just probably won't be able to farm as much because the cost to farm it is incredibly high, right? 20 energy per run versus 16 energy per run is pretty significant. I could do 24 for what, 18 energy, and, you know, try to split the difference there. But, you know, for me, I often wonder, like, is that really going to be, I don't often wonder, but I have been wondering for this account, is that worth it? Should I start pushing? Because I have a very solid farm for all of these dungeons. In theory, I could start pushing up a little bit and see if I can farm at a higher level. Remember, energy is the big problem I have, not time. So even if they're like 8-minute runs, I could do those. And time's not the issue, it's the energy. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about that. Is that something that I should be pursuing? Trying to push these dungeons up to the next level or not? I feel like stage 20 is a really good space to farm, right? I feel like it's energy efficient, it's gear efficient, but I also throw away a lot of this gear. There's a lot of it that is pretty useless to me. And I feel like if I was farming stage 20 or stage, 25 or 24, excuse me, that there's a much higher chance that I would be keeping those pieces. So a little bit of a quandary there. I don't know. Does it matter how early game account I have? Or should I just always be farming the highest level possible? Let me know what you guys think. That was a big question of the day. More of a musing rather than any kind of definitive declaration. I didn't really have a solid answer for it. It's just kind of some ideas that were batting around in my head. And I was kind of like, I don't know what's going to be better for this. It's a bit of a, it's an interesting question, right? Like, we have very little silver. Should I invest it heavily into the pieces that I know are going to be worth keeping for the very long term? Or do I spread it around for some pieces that might or might not hit for what I need? But then I'm taking more shots in the dark at it. I don't really know. This is a very bad analogy, by the way. I don't know the answer to that. These are just thoughts that I have and questions that I have going into this. As I'm waiting for my shards to hit that 2x point so I can pull them. I only got like 5 ancient shards left too, but those 5 are going to be really important for me. So that's kind of one of the things I've been thinking about. It is, we do have a couple tournaments going on right now. Obviously, Fire Night is one of them, and this is definitely, something I think for an early game account, for a free-to-play new game, this is a great way to actually pick up some quick tournament points, because Fire Night's a really hard dungeon to get. So you have less people really competing in these early stages of accounts. Less people are competing effectively. So it's pretty easy to rank up, I think, higher in the tournaments. If you can get to these high levels early on, you have a really good chance to, get a high level finish and get some extra resources along the way. And I find the same thing is kind of true with Tag Team Arena. And wouldn't you know it, we have a Tag Team Arena tournament going on right now. I was reminded by one of my clan mates, I think Wix maybe, somebody reminded us, but I took the time and I got myself an extra refill for Tag Team. And as you can see, it doesn't take a lot in the Tag Team tournament to place high. I mean, like, it's one of the least fun areas of the game, one of the hardest areas of the game. It just sucks and needs to be reworked. Everybody knows this, everybody acknowledges this, except for Plarium. But because of that, it's often neglected, and so it's a pretty easy way to pick up some tournament points, right? If I'm not finishing in this top 5 or so, I'm probably slacking off pretty bad. I've got all 10 of mine to go for, I've like an additional 10 to go today and another refill ready to go, and I'll probably have the same for tomorrow. Plus I can buy another refill for only 15 gems today. So it's a really easy way to kind of rank up and get some extra points in, and hopefully I'll be able to, get some blessings out of this, get some chickens, get another ancient shard for this weekend is kind of the goal, and maybe even get some really nice gear. Now, I'm not expecting to take the top, right? There's always going to be some tryhards in the group. I'm not that, but hopefully I can get into, maybe I can get in the second and get an epic book. Maybe I'll stay here in like 4th or 5th and get some gems. Maybe I'll get in the 3rd and try and get some of that relentless gear. It all just kind of depends what I'm looking for, but I feel like any of that is definitely attainable and a possibility here. So kind of an easy way to get a few extra resources while you're doing what you probably should be doing anyway. And because it's, setting up for this weekend, there's a possibility we might even be able to rank up into bronze 2, which I think I would like. I think that would be a good thing. Once you get out of bronze 1, more people are setting those one-man defenses than not, because, you're having to put in a little effort to rank up. Not everybody. I know it's rougher in the lower levels, but I do feel like that is something that I should be able to do and can stay in bronze 2 and farm just as easily as I am in bronze 1. So we'll see if we can't double dip, rank up this weekend, get some extra resources, and do some of that fun stuff. So that's kind of what's going on right now. I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about that, stage 25 versus stage 20, which is the way I should be going. You know, should I be pushing to get to 25 or 24 at least the farm? Does that make more sense? Or should I just be content and happy at 20 right now and not worry about pushing anything at the moment? Which is also, you know, I think a very valid approach to these things. You know, my missions, I'm trying to push a little bit. I'm pretty close. We just got to beat some more arena teams, which is hard because I'm facing mostly one-man teams. But, you know, my goal is to really be able to get these 2 epic books, these 2 legendary books down here, pretty soon, right? Maybe not this week, but hopefully by the end of this month, you know, in the next, you know, week or 2, we can get that and get Elva fully booked. That's my goal. So we'll see if that's actually reasonable and attainable. So anyway, kind of a shorter video. I just kind of want to ask a couple questions and ponder a couple things with you guys. Have some, you know, what do you call it? Some theological debates. Not theological. It's not about God. It's just, you know, theocraftical debates. I think that works. Theocraftical. Making a word. Mine. Using it. It's official now. Theocraftical. Someone go call dictionary.com and get it put in. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you do, hit that subscribe. Until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.